All right, so today we're gonna be talking all about my favorite SPFs, favorite face sunscreens specifically. And I feel like sunscreens in the last about like 5 years, 3 to 5 years, have come such a long way as far as formula and just the look and feel of them. A lot of SPFs now almost feel more like skincare rather than like white, greasy sunscreens. We don't need those in our lives anymore. There are so many better options out there. So I'm gonna be breaking down my favorite sunscreens, the price, whether they're chemical, mineral, also show you applying them so you can really see the finish, different price points, some more affordable. So let's get into it. So if you enjoy this video and find it helpful, you can give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. It does help my channel out. And I'm also gonna link all of the products I'm talking about down below in the description box. I'm standing right now, which feels very weird because back in the day, like when I first started my YouTube channel, almost 10 years ago, I would stand in my like little college room. So I'm getting some deja vu here. So let's start off with the Canmake Mermaid Skin Gel UV SPF 50. This is a Japanese product. A lot of Asian skincare brands make amazing SPFs at a really affordable price point. So this one is only $11. You can get it on YesStyle. You can also get it on Amazon. The price might range depending on where you get it. YesStyle puts things on sale all the time, so it might even be cheaper on there right now. So there are two types of SPFs, chemical and mineral, and they can also be a hybrid. Typically, mineral sunscreen is what will give you that really white kind of cast. So that's why a lot of people like chemical sunscreens, but chemical SPFs can break some people out. I do have sensitive skin. I had cystic acne in the past, and personally, I find that with the ones that I'm gonna recommend at least, I don't break out from any of these, but if you do break out really easily, you might want to lean towards a mineral one, but just depends, everyone's skin is different. This one's a chemical and mineral hybrid SPF 50. This is a very glowy but super lightweight kind of gel consistency. This one has zero white cast whatsoever. It basically just feels like a lightweight kind of serum gel. I do find that this one sinks into the skin really well, and I am almost out of this one. I had to purposely not finish off a few of these just so I still had some left to put on my face for this video. And by the way, when you're seeing the clips applying these, I'm not doing like a full SPF application. I'm mostly just putting on some to show you the finish and everything. But I recently learned a good trick. The amount of sunscreen that you're supposed to put on is 2 full fingers. So if you make a line up 2 fingers, that's an adequate amount for the coverage that you need. So the next one up is the Supergoop Glow Screen SPF 40. So this is $36. You get 1.7 fluid ounces of product in here. And this one just like, I'm excited to talk about because this is definitely one of my all-time favorites. Oh my God. Wow, what is happening? It's a chemical sunscreen and it has hyaluronic acid, vitamin B5, and niacinamide in it. So on the back of here, they say a lightweight pearlescent formula that hydrates the skin while acting like a luminous makeup gripping primer. SPF hack, it also doubles as a highlighter wherever you want a little extra dose of sunshine. So basically out of all the ones I'm talking about, this and one other Paula's Choice one is the glowiest out of all of them. This is an extremely glowy, dewy product. For that reason, I love to use this on its own. Like if I'm just going on a walk, it almost does this weird thing where it adds this like soft veil kind of look to it. It's super glowy, but it also like slightly evens out my skin tone a little bit weirdly. But this isn't for like the faint of heart. This is extremely glowy, so just know that going in. I definitely agree that you can use this as a makeup primer. It's not gripping. I definitely wouldn't call this a gripping primer like they say, but it is very hydrating, very glowy, and it does work really well under makeup as well. I do think this one's worth the money. I'm gonna continue to repurchase this. It's definitely like, I would say this one's in my top 3. And comparing it to the first one, the Canmake is more of like a serum gel. That one is more of a like creamy kind of consistency. Next up, we have another Japanese SPF. This one is the Sunkiller Perfect Water Essence Alcohol Free SPF 50. I mentioned this in a recent current favorites video. I friggin' love this one. It retails for $19.99 on YesStyle, but honestly, you can always get this way cheaper than that on sale. I think I got it for around 10 bucks. It has 1.4 fluid ounces of product, and this is a mineral sunscreen, which I actually was surprised to figure out because they friggin' killed it with the formula of this for mineral sunscreen because there is zero white tint whatsoever. Just a very, again, like gel serum-like kind of formula. This one also has a glowy finish. I tend to gravitate towards glowier finishes because my skin kind of fluctuates from normal to dry, so I prefer more like moisturizing kind of glowy SPFs typically. I originally picked this one up on YesStyle because it was super highly rated, and I understand why. It's just a really nice everyday gel kind of glowy moisturizer. Makeup sits beautifully on top. There's zero white cast. This one compared to the Canmake, I think the Canmake is slightly glowier. This one's pretty dewy. This one has a very citrusy scent to it. It smells like a vitamin C serum, and it smells very similar to a Glossier one that I'm gonna mention coming up or next. By the way, I'm saving the tinted mineral sunscreens until the very end, but some of those are my absolute favorites, so you definitely want to stick around. Don't drop off on me, okay? And next up I have the Glossier Invisible Shield SPF 35. Out of all of the products I'm talking about today, this has the least amount of product in it. It only has 1 fluid ounce of product in it, and it is $25. So this is it's a pricey product, especially for something like an SPF where you typically are using a lot of and you're using it every day. It is pricey. It's a chemical sunscreen. This is, I think, the most serum-like formula out of any of the ones I'm going to be talking about. I really love this one because I feel like it absorbs into the skin really well because it is such a serum-like formula. It gives my skin a glow, it makes my skin feel moisturized, but it also just sinks in really nicely. But this is kind of like my go-to if I know I'm going to be putting something over top, like if I'm wearing foundation and I want it to be glowy but not overboard glow like the glow screen, I'll go in with this one. Typically, I don't like wearing this one if I'm not going to be putting makeup on over top. I like kind of saving it for that purpose. It has a very citrusy scent to it, and that's because it has sweet orange peel oil in it. I'm just looking at my notes down here. It also has vitamin E, vitamin P, broccoli, aloe leaf extract, some interesting ingredients. It has fermented yeast in it. Not quite sure what that does in an SPF, but it has it in there. This next one is also from Supergoop. It's the Unseen Sunscreen SPF 40. This one retails for $36, has 1.7 ounces of product, same as the other Supergoop sunscreen, but this one is very unique. I don't have any other sunscreen I've ever tried that's like this. It basically feels exactly like a smoothing, kind of blurring primer. It has that exact kind of almost like silicone-y feel to it. It's fragrance-free, says it's reef-safe, vegan. It does mattify. You can see in the application, it definitely mattifies and almost like blurs out a little bit. It's basically exactly like a primer. So when I'm using this, I don't like to use a primer on top of it. This is like my 2-in-1 sunscreen and primer. There's zero white cast to it. It's completely clear. It is a chemical sunscreen, has red algae in it. It says it's a velvety soft finish. Totally agree with that. Definitely has a super soft velvety finish, exactly that. I think if you have normal to oily skin, you'd probably really like this one. When I have super dry skin, like in the winter time, this isn't one I reach for because I just prefer something that's a little bit more moisturizing. So I like to use this one more so in the summer than when I'm drier. This one pleasantly surprised me. This is a brand that I don't think I've tried anything else from. I think they're known for their little zit stickers, hence the name Zit Sticka Mega Shade Sunscreen Serum. This is a chemical and mineral hybrid. It retails for $40 and has 1.69 fluid ounces of product. So this one is pretty pricey, but it says it's safe for acne-prone skin and sensitive skin, and it's SPF 50. Their whole thing is that it's breakout proof, safe for acne-prone skin. It says radiance boosting sunscreen, lightweight serum, and I 100% agree with that. This has a dropper formula, and when I first started using this and I first put it on, I was like, oh God, this is straight up white. But it's really interesting. It is white when you put it on your face, but as you blend it out, it turns completely invisible, and it just has the perfect formula where it does feel like a serum, but it also feels like you've moisturized. It's not too slippery, it sinks into the skin nicely, zero white cast. And this is one that, since I started using it, I want to consistently reach for this one because it just makes my skin feel so nice. It's like a soft kind of moisturized feel. And there's some good ingredients in here. This one also has niacinamides, hyaluronic acid, ceramides, ferulic acid. So this is a good one, and I feel like I haven't heard anyone talking about this, but it's a really nice formula and I've been loving it. Next up we have the Paula's Choice Essential Glow Moisturizer SPF 30. Paula's Choice makes some of my favorite skincare. Typically, my skin reacts really well to their products. I usually don't break out from them. This one retails for $29, but you get 2 fluid ounces of product in here. Even though it looks like a nice little tiny tube, you get a lot of product. And Paula's Choice does do sales pretty frequently as well, so you'd probably be able to get this for even cheaper. But this one is glowy. When I was talking about another one similar to the Supergoop Glow Screen, I would say this has a similar level of glow, but because this one is a mineral sunscreen, it does have, I would say, a slight white cast. I think if your skin tone was deeper than mine, it would probably show up even more. But I love the feel of this one. It's such a nice, like, almost thicker, creamy formula. It's super, super moisturizing. But this one also has niacinamide, it has vitamin C. I feel like this one, if you have super dry skin and you don't mind a slight white cast, like if you're gonna be putting foundation on over top, that's when I use sunscreens like this. Whereas with the Supergoop Glow Screen, that one I can use on its own and it looks beautiful. If I want a really moisturized, glowy base, like maybe I'm going in with a completely matte foundation and I kind of want that glow to come through, that's when I'll go in with something like this. So this one I think would be great if you have extremely dry skin. And the scent of this one, it's all natural, so it does have a slightly like, it reminds me of Juice Beauty, a few of their products. Wow, I haven't used their products for like years, but I still remember the scent. It just has that like really natural kind of scent. I don't mind it, and once it's on your face, you don't even smell it. And then next up's the Biore UV Watery Essence SPF 50. On YesStyle, this one retails for around $17, but again, you can almost always get it closer to around $10. And you do get 2 fluid ounces of product in this, so I believe this one is the most affordable out of all of them as far as the price per ounce, just looking at them. This is a chemical sunscreen, SPF 50. This one has hyaluronic acid, but this one is just like a true gel, very lightweight kind of product, but it really absorbs into the skin. This one doesn't have a scent to it, and I feel like it leaves kind of a slight glow, but once it's fully absorbed, it's not like overly glowy. So if you like a really lightweight gel kind of formula, but you have oilier skin, I think you might really like this one. I think this one could work for all skin types, and it's kind of like the one where if I want more of a neutral finish, still leaning slightly glowy, but more neutral, like natural finish, I would say, I'll go in with this one. So a lot of mineral sunscreens will put a slight tint in there just to counteract the white cast. So I have 3 mineral sunscreens that are tinted that I absolutely love. 2 of them I'm like full on in love with. One of them is really, anyways, we'll get into it. And the first one I'm gonna mention, I've raved about in past videos and on Instagram. I freaking love this thing, and I feel like it's so incredibly underrated. It's the Bliss Blockstar SPF 30 Daily Invisible Sunscreen. This is a 100% mineral sunscreen. This one you can get at Target for 20 bucks. It has 1.4 ounces of product. This one has an antioxidant blend and also has an ingredient in there that says it helps to control excess oil and minimize your pores. And this sunscreen is one of the most unique ones I've ever found. If you want basically like a blurring primer, super waterproof formula, something that minimizes your pores, soft matte finish, and is very waterproof, I tested this in Hawaii, then this is your guy. I can't rave about this thing enough. This is, out of everything I'm gonna mention, the most blurring. It just gives you this like very soft veil kind of look. It definitely is more on the matte side, so I think if you have oily skin, you would love this, but on my skin, I still love it. I don't find that it emphasizes dryness or anything. I've gotten a lot of messages from you guys after I talked about this on Instagram saying that you also love this and it's like magical, and I agree. I'm gonna be talking about one that's like similar but kind of more hyped up online, and I actually like this one way more than that. The scent of this one smells kind of like botanical. I actually like the scent. So I personally like to use this one if I know I'm gonna be going in the water out and about where I want my skin to look nice and like blurred out, and it adds a little bit of a tint, but I don't have to actually put on makeup. Again, I'm almost out of this one, and I will 100,000,000% be repurchasing this, one of my all-time favorites. So on the other half of my face, this is the kind of like hyped up product that I mentioned. It's the Australian Gold Tinted Face SPF 50 sunscreen. This is very well liked across the internet, on YouTube. Let me give you the specs first before I get into this one. I'm too excited. This one retails for about $14, and you actually get 3 fluid ounces of product in here, so this actually might be the most affordable one. This one's also mineral sunscreen. It does have a tint to it, but I personally feel like it's definitely not as tinted as the Bliss or the one I'm gonna mention next. And sometimes I feel like the tint just kind of blends away and I can see a little bit of a white cast. I wanted to mention this one because it is one of the most popular, it is very affordable, and it has a matte finish. So I think if you have oily skin, you'd probably love this one. For me personally, I find it to be a little bit too matte. Like the Bliss is matte, but it still looks kind of like nice and soft. This one on me can almost look a little bit too drying on my forehead. So personally, this isn't my like holy grail one, but it is super hyped up, so I wanted to mention it and also kind of compare it to the Bliss. You can see the difference. I just find the Bliss to be so much more flattering looking on my skin and definitely more blurring. I don't get like a blurred kind of look with this. If you love this one and you haven't tried the Bliss, your mind I think is gonna be blown, because I do think the Bliss one is just far superior. last tinted one, and then we'll go back to the non-tinted, but another tinted mineral sunscreen. This is the Alastin Skincare Hydratint Pro Mineral Sunscreen SPF 36. This one is pricey. It's $55, but you get 2.6 fluid ounces of product. It is a mineral sunscreen, but Alastin is a skincare brand, so there's some good ingredients in here. This was in my July Raves and Rejects because I love this thing. This is basically like the Bliss but glowy version. Because I just raved about this one, I'm gonna try and keep this short, but basically it's a very tinted, glowy, but like soft. Like it gives you that kind of soft, plump look, super glowy formula that just looks like skin. So I personally love this to even out my face to my self tanner. Like I talked about in the other video, depending on how you're gonna be using this, it could not work for you because of the shade. So I do think because this one is so tinted, like I almost think it's like a light coverage kind of CC cream. Because of that, I think they do need to come out with more shades of this. Like on my skin without self tanner, when my skin is more fair, I could not use this product. It would be way too dark and like orange looking. But if you're someone who doesn't have fair skin, like if your skin tone is around mine right now or darker, you could use it in the way that you use any of the other tinted ones, where it's just to kind of counteract any white that would be in here if they didn't tint it. So basically, like if you're gonna be using a foundation to match your skin tone over top. I absolutely love applying this one. There's something about it that just feels so luxurious. Like it feels like good skincare, but I also love how it makes my skin look and just the plumpness and the glowiness. It's just such a beautiful product. The only thing is it says it's water resistant up to 40 minutes. If you wear this in the water or if you wear it to the gym and you're like sweating, you can see your sweat sitting on top of it and it almost like turns white. I have a photo when I was at the beach. I know this is a really flattering photo here. I don't know why I took it like this, but you can fully see, you know, the white like dripping down on top of it. So for that reason, I'm no longer wearing this one if I think I'm gonna be like majorly sweating or going in the water. So that's something to call out. Like if you're looking for a water tinted one, definitely go with the Bliss. All right, and then last product is the Shiseido Ultimate Sun Protector Lotion SPF 50. So this one is technically for face or body. I have used it on both. I like it on my face, but because of the scent and how glowy it is and just like the texture and stuff, I actually found that I love it for my body. It's what I used in Hawaii. It's what I use if I want a really pretty glow. Like it just looks so beautiful on your legs or on your arms. It's almost like the body makeup glow plus sunscreen in one, and it smells incredible. Like when I'm wearing this, I get asked what I have on. I didn't even tell you the price or anything. For the 2-ounce size is $25. For the 5-ounce size, which is this one, is $49. This has lasted me a while. It's a mineral sunscreen, but this one doesn't have any white cast whatsoever. And it just gives the prettiest friggin' glow without being like sparkly, without looking like you're wearing body makeup or something. It's just a really glowy SPF, but like I would put this on in Hawaii for just going to dinner because it just gives you the prettiest glow, should I say. Pretty glow again. Oh my God. I'm just feeling like I'm back in Hawaii right about now. I actually worked with them when this first came out last year, a year or two ago. This video is not sponsored by anyone, but I genuinely love this. I only talk about products and do brand deals for things that I love and actually use. So those are all of my sunscreen recommendations. I feel like I finally have a collection of them that I absolutely love that I can recommend to you guys. I've been testing so many sunscreens and these are my absolute favorite, would recommend. So I'll have all of them linked down below in the description box, but I hope this helps you with your SPF search. There's so many now that it can kind of be hard to figure out what you might like and just know all the details about them. So I hope that was comprehensive and gave you an idea of which one you might want to pick up. Let me know if you try any of these, what you think. I'm always curious to hear from you back. Like if you buy something I recommend, what do you think of it? You can always DM me on Instagram or comment down below. But I love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.